Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mike Campbell. Mr. Bobby Lopez.
The 32 years of empty promises and cash, I think, has come to an end. People are demanding and expecting more. A true representative first listens carefully to the issues, identifies them, then he collectively plans with those persons the way forward and how to find the solutions to the problems and the issues that they face. He then speaks and acts on those issues, and always making sure that he is delivering what the people want and not what he wants. I believe what we have fostered in 32 years is a culture of instant gratification, meaning that we want to enjoy it now and not worry about later on. The electorate in Belize is no longer being fooled by that, and so I bring no promises other than to work hard, because vision without action is only an illusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bobby Lopez. We'll give the opportunity now to Ms. Patricia Arceo.
Aiden, every day that you go out campaigning, you listen to the people's cries, and their cries are different. And one person might be telling you that you know that they have a problem in trying to get their lease or their title. You have to listen to them. Many instances, we have our Belizeans who are married to foreigners, and they're telling you that they would like to get their citizenship for their spouses. As a representative, you know, you have access to offices and you have access to serve the people. And these are some of the things that do fall in there. As for the campaigning goes for Belize Rural South under us, we have a manifesto. We are guided by that manifesto, and that manifesto is to serve the people on the issues, burning issues right here on the island. And yes, there are some of them that says land will be allocated for locals, and why not? Why not have a part of Belize for us? But these will come through planned subdivisions. La pregunta era de la campaña y de promesas que se hacen. Durante la campaña, y vamos en las diferentes casas, encontramos entes que tienen ciertos problemas. Nosotros como representantes, dentro o fuera del gobierno, estamos allá para darle acceso a esa gente. Por eso estamos allá para servir a la gente. Nuestra campaña ahorita que se está llevando del Partido Unido del Pueblo con nuestro manifiesto es para el bienestar del pueblo de San Pedro y Caye Caulker. Les invitamos a ustedes para leerlo y ustedes decidan. Gracias.
Thank you, Ms. Patricia Arceo. We'll give the opportunity to Mr. Manuel Heredia, Jr.
Well, as a politician and as a representative, I have always thought that after elections are over, we forget about colors and serve the people. And that is exactly the way I handle it. We identified 50 acres of land in San Pedro, and I didn't ask who is PUP, who is UDP. All the youths within 18 and 25 years old were asked if they were interested in a piece of land, and every single one of them that went over there was given a piece of land of 210 lots. Almost all of them have gotten their leases. I believe that land is something precious. In San Pedro, it is extremely difficult now to get land. Caye Caulker likewise, because almost everything was sold or given away. And I believe that it is a birthright to have a piece of land. And as the people from the districts move over here, the rent is killing. So it is my job as the representative to see where I can get a piece of land. And then with the nationalities is not only election time that I try to help these people. These people that have been living 5 years and more over here deserve to be, if they want to be Belizean, they deserve to have it. And I have been helping ever since I was mayor of San Pedro. I have been helping these people to get their nationalities. I believe that during these 4 years that I was in government, from the first year I started to work on nationalities, up to now, I think it's probably 200 or more than 200 nationalities that I have gotten for people. And people that have qualified within the 5 years, either by marriage, by descent, or by the normal 5 years. It is not that people will be getting like what used to happen before, that people, even before they are 5 years, do not qualify, were given passports, and so I do not believe in that system. I believe in the system
Thank
that
you.
once you qualify, then you need to have it.
Thank you, Mr. Heredia. At this moment, we'll go to the rebuttal. Mr. Mike Campbell.
Testing, yes. Thank you very much. We're touching upon a very sensitive issue here, which is land and land reform. And we're having a lot of problems with this. As I speak to people, I meet people who have not gotten their lots, who have applied for years. I meet other people who are afraid to openly support me because they feel that they're going to be discriminated against and not get their lot, which has been held up. And a whole variety of things. I find out all sorts of things about this land is being offered out and this land. And most people don't really get those kind of opportunities. I respect Mr. Heredia and what he has said, but any government land needs to be advertised publicly so everyone knows that it's there. And we all have a chance to take advantage of that. No one should be able to get a piece of government land and then hold it and resell it, which is what happens a lot now. We need to really address this land reform issue, and it does people, even though the politicians may not promise it, people feel that it's promised, and they feel a pressure with it, and they do let the pressure of the land influence their politics, and that is a form of corruption, and I don't think that all of the candidates properly addressed the question.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. We'll give the opportunity for rebuttal to Mr. Bobby Lopez.
My pledge is simple. The Lord says that you commit your ways to Him and your plans will be established. I have practiced this in my business every single day in the last 25 years. Whether I'm in Belmopan or not, my 50-odd workers pray each day, and we give God thanks for the blessings and of life and the opportunity to have a job. And so my pledge is this: to lay before the Lord each day the needs and goals and desires of the people of Belize Rural South. And then I promise to humbly serve them without fear or favor, affection or ill will.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Ms. Patricia Arceo.
Going back into promises, Aiden, it's a commitment that all of us sitting down here, despite our difference of political ideology, that's what we're selling all of ourselves out there to the public. It's a promise, it's a commitment. And the public is the one who will be deciding when it comes on March 7th, regardless of which way we're going to put it. We could stay here the whole night and define what promise is. It's a commitment that we have for the people, and coming March 7th, they will decide.
Thank you, Ms. Pate. Mr. Heredia.
Solo quiero decir de que yo no creo en eso de promesas de campaña con tierra, porque todo ciudadano beliceño tiene el derecho de tener un pedazo de tierra y debemos de olvidar de qué color pertenecen y servir a todos iguales. Mi tema ha sido a los menos afortunados, a la juventud y a aquellos años que vienen acá y no tienen, y todo aquel centroamericano que se quiere volver beliceño, también debemos de darles oportunidad una vez que califiquen. Y eso es lo que yo hago, no en tiempo de que se acerque la elección, sino desde que he entrado en puesto, he estado ayudando a esta gente.
Thank you, Mr. Heredia. At this moment, we will turn on to the next topic, Caye Caulker, and the first to respond will be Mr. Bobby Lopez. Tamara, we issue the questions.
Caye Caulker residents say they feel forgotten, neglected, and only remembered at election time. Do you think this is true? And how do you intend to change this perception? I'll repeat. Caye Caulker residents say they feel forgotten, neglected, and only remembered at election time. Do you think this is true, and how do you intend to change this perception?
Mr. Bobby Lopez.
If the people of Caye Caulker say so, then it is true. I have been working with the schools in Caye Caulker since 2005 when I introduced the Lions Quest Life Skills program to this country. I visited Caye Caulker at least 4 or 5 times a year, and I got to know many parents, teachers, and the principal. And because I worked so close with them and they were such a passionate group of people, Caye Caulker emerged as the model school in the Lions Quest program. So much so that it will be featured in a film to be done in September. They have been neglected. I have heard that over and over. And when I walked the new site in the last weekend, and the people showed me where the alligators come out, and the parents showed me how their children have to walk with their tennis in their hands to get to school during the high tide and the rainy season. They have been forgotten, neglected, and that's why my song says, Caye Caulker feels they're out of range. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. Ms. Patricia Arceo.
Well, I have to agree. If they say it, it's because they're feeling it. And I guess they've been feeling that since 2003. Caye Caulker is like our little sister. We need to take care of her. And the thing is with Caye Caulker, it's also growing very fast. And there are issues that need to be addressed. I firmly believe that the central government must and should be working hand in hand with the village council, not only during election time, but throughout the year. The thing is with Caye Caulker, in 1998 and 2003, when we were able to serve there, when we went in there, Caye Caulker needed a lot of help, especially when it came with infrastructure. I am very happy to hear that finally the beach will be reclaimed, because back in 2000, when the beach was reclaimed in Caye Caulker, it transformed completely the island. And the good thing about it is that the business was owned by local business people. When it came to the health, we were able to allocate a new doctor and also a full-time nurse at the Caye Caulker Health Center. We were able to open new streets and also able to put new lampposts with lights right there in Caye Caulker. On the north side, we were able to allocate close to 265 lots, and on Bahia Puesta del Sol, which is a new subdivision, we were able to give about 250 lots to the residents of Caye Caulker. Caye Caulker, also the central back pier was rebuilt because they needed to offload and load their goods coming into the island. The airstrip was resurfaced again. So these are some of the many things that we were able to do for Caye Caulker. At that time, we worked with 2 village councils, and our work never ended. There was more to be done. Unfortunately, 2003 came, and since then, very little have we seen happening in Caye Caulker.
Thank you, Ms. Patti. Mr. Heredia.
Well, definitely I feel that Caye Caulker needs a little more attention, but as I mentioned a while ago, you have to work with the resources that you have. But yes, I agree with Patty that there is nothing better than working with the village council, and I have done that very, very perfectly. I have worked twice with Alberto, one as in opposition, and now that he is the new chairman, I have worked closely with him. Any decision that will be made first have to be recommended by the chairman. I am not the type of representative that because I am a member of government will go ahead and do whatever I want. The village council chairman has the authority. The village council, the councillors have to be notified of what decisions will be made. And the chairman can tell you that like Bahia Puesta del Sol, we have fixed those streets several times in these 4 years, partnering between the chairman and myself. In the school, we are adding 2 additional classrooms because I feel that it's overcrowded. And with the high school also, we are making progress. We are looking into the possibilities of getting the social security land beside the airstrip for expansion of the high school, and I am very hopeful that at the end of the day we will be able to get that land and we'll have sufficient room to expand even to higher grades. Y Caye Caulker, definitivamente, quisiéramos darle mucho más, pero lo principal es trabajar juntamente con el chairman y le hemos pasado la autoridad de transporte, algo que les da bastante más ingresos, y esa es la manera que debemos de trabajar juntamente con tu chairman y sus regidores para el beneficio del pueblo.
Thank you, Mr. Heredia. Mr. Mike Campbell.
Thank you. I would like to say to the residents of Caye Caulker, well, first, a little background. I have lived in Caye Caulker in the late 80s. I've worked in Caye Caulker, and I have a pretty good idea of some of the issues that they have. One of their biggest ones is they don't want to come out like San Pedro, and that's a very legitimate issue. And now, here, Caye Caulker residents say they feel forgotten, neglected, and only remembered at election time. Well, my brothers and sisters, that's exactly the way we've got it here in San Pedro, too. So we're all in this together. We also don't receive anything. Nobody comes out here and even promise us anything until it's election time. I know how long it took to get your water system installed over there. I know how much promises, how long all of that took, how long it was promised. Part of the campaign to turn Belize Rural South into a 7th district will give a lot more power to Caye Caulker. If we can just get a little more population in Caye Caulker, I would recommend that we redistrict the 7th district to where we have 2 voting constituencies, and Caye Caulker can have representation. It's extremely difficult for anyone from San Pedro to represent Caye Caulker correctly, and most of their complaints are legitimate, as are ours. But I don't want people in Caye Caulker to think that we got it good and they don't, because that's not the fact. We're all in this together, and that's what this election in particular is about. We are looking at another way. We've been promised repeatedly by both parties. What little progress there is not enough, and it's too slow, and they make us feel that we're supposed to be grateful for receiving a portion of what we're actually entitled to. And we must change that. We must change that. I know how much money San Pedro and Caye Caulker contributes to this economy, and I'm not willing to listen to these arguments as we don't have the money and all of that.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Rebuttals, we begin with Bobby.
I want to agree with Mike. The people of Caye Caulker are the same like San Pedro, and basically they feel the back half of the island has been neglected while the front half is given all the attention. That is exactly what the residents of Caye Caulker told me as we were campaigning and I was listening. They said, listen, the back of the island, tourists like to come to the back to sit and watch the sun set in that beautiful bay. But what is back there? It's eroding, it's harboring garbage, the streets are partially underwater during the tide, and so just like San Pedro, the back half of the island is neglected, forgotten, and only around election time do the promises come.
Thank you, Mr. Bobby Lopez. Ms. Patricia Arceo.
Caye Caulker needs the same attention as San Pedro, and it has done, and it will be done again. Whenever any new project was being done here in San Pedro, another new project was being done in Caye Caulker. Take, for example, the fire station. When we built the fire station here in San Pedro, a new fire station was built in Caye Caulker. Whenever the beach reclamation was done here in San Pedro, a new beach reclamation was done in Caye Caulker. When we were building the polyclinic here in San Pedro, Caye Caulker Health Center was being built. And all of this was not done not only through the village council, but also with the locals of Caye Caulker.
Thank you, Ms. Patty. Mr. Heredia.
Well, I definitely believe that in partnering together with the village council is the key to Caye Caulker. During our administration, before that, the liquor license was allowed to be collected for the village council. Then, during our administration this time, they are collecting the fees for all vehicles. So this administration has really given more autonomy to the village council, and we are hoping that probably trade license and those things will be able to be collected in Caye Caulker also. It's about autonomy also. Even though your representatives try to get as much progress as possible, but make sure that you allow the chairman to be the one to implement these things. It is the representative that should lobby to central government, but then have the village council do the projects. They are the ones to supervise it. They are the ones that know the island better than I do, or better than any one of us in front over here know. So it is our job to make sure that we lobby for them and for them to be able to do the work themselves.
Thank you, Mr. Heredia. Mr. Campbell.
Thank you very much. All of the village councils have a problem with funds. It happens all over the country. There are some other funding options available for the villages through the various pieces of legislation we have. For example, the various hotels that develop in Caye Caulker should be paying some sort of development fee to the village council that helps take up for some of this slack. And I believe that through the various associations, Caye Caulker can identify some new sources of funding. So, thank you.